Hey guys, welcome to Romp Chess Rating Climb episode 22. I'm up to 628 on the elo now, so that's definitely progress. There's a long way I'd like to go to get to intermediate, but I just keep making incremental steps, trying to improve. I've won like the last 3 or 4 games rapid, so that's good. I'm still making a lot of mistakes, a lot of inaccuracies. Um, Something that I want to try to do again this game that I intended to do last game, and I just completely failed to do it because it's not part of my habit, my routine. It's just not locked into my brain. But my intention this game, before I make any attacking moves, I need to calculate and verbalize before I move. So I intended to do that last game, just completely ignored it. I just need to work to try to make that part of my routine. So having said that, let's do 15-10 rapid. Start the game, and we're looking for an opponent, and I'll be playing as black. Looks like I'm playing against a 622 today. Interesting. My opponent advances here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the center. So I'm grabbing here and here. So basically, what we have here is the French advanced. It just occurred kind of in an odd way. My opponent advanced the E pawn, and then they brought out the D. So I'm going to go ahead and push my C pawn here, which is supported by my bishop. Let's see what they try to do. The correct move would be to play C3 here. So they do go ahead and take. So that just gives me a free development move. I'll take back with the bishop. Now I have this nice strong pawn chain. I have my bishop developed. This E pawn for white is very weak, so they push out here to support that pawn, which cuts off that does restrict my knight, right? I can't go there. So there's no pawn here to threaten, to worry about. That pawn's already advanced, so I'm going to go ahead and push this knight over here with ideas of relocating to here. So they develop their knight. They bring out their knight. So if I go ahead and relocate my knight to here, I'll be controlling this square, this square, this square, this square, this diagonal. So let's go ahead and push this knight to here. I could potentially even, so we're both looking at this square here. I'm prepared to castle on the king side. This pawn is currently very weak right here. So they bring out their light square bishop to here, put me in check. So if I can either block here, which would also attack that pawn. But you know what? This light square bishop is really weak right here. It has nowhere to go. So I'm going to challenge with my light square bishop and hoping that they'll just take there. Oh, and I didn't, you know, they can either take, because I'm attacking, they can't go to here, they can't go to here, so they can either take or they can relocate their, they can retreat their bishop. If they do take, I'll if they do take, I'll probably take back with the queen, because then I can put my knight. Oh, and they decided to retreat. Okay. So, do I want to go ahead and put my queen on b6 to put a control on this diagonal here? Although this this pawn, started to say it's hanging, but it's actually controlled here. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring the queen out to here, to b6. So my development's almost complete. I'm almost definitely going to castle short. So they activate their queen. I could, trying to think. So if I'm relocating my light square bishop to here, if white takes, then I can't take back. Man, I would really like to have, let's think about this. I'd really like to have this knight on this square. So if I went here and then came back, let's think. Because white has this this battery here coming down this way. So if I put my knight here and then brought it back, and I'm controlling this square and this square with the knight. So let's do that. So white takes. If I take back, let's think about this for a minute. So if I take back, then I have two isolated pawns. Do I have anything stronger? Now let's just go ahead and take back here. Now that pawn is supported by my light square bishop. My queen is controlling this this 6th rank, so this pawn this pawn can't push. probably need to speak up a little bit. I have a tendency to kind of talk to myself in these videos, and a lot of times the sound is a little bit quieter than it should be. So I do apologize for that. So currently this pawn is undefended here. So now I can relocate this knight to here to support this pawn. So let's go ahead and do that. And actually, you know, if I castle long, that would put my rook here. Which would pin this pawn. So let's go ahead and castle long. White develops bishop to here. I can push this pawn, kick this knight away. If I kick the knight away, they could go to, they can't go to here because that square is controlled. They could go to here. But that square is also controlled by the bishop and the queen. So yeah, let's push this pawn. I want to put either my H rook or my D rook on the E file. The question is, which rook do I want to relocate? This H rook is currently supporting this this pawn on H7 here. So yeah, they do put the queen over to this to A4 over on the side. So like I said, this light square bishop is currently kind of weak. So if I take here, if I take, white takes back, their pawns will be doubled on the A file, and then this file will be open to the king there. So that seems like a good take. Am I missing something? Got to be careful here. So take. Okay, white does take back. Okay, let's look at this position for a minute. I want to go ahead and this queen is in front of the king. So I want to go ahead and put pressure on this pawn to line up here. So I'm going to go ahead and relocate this rook to here. Do have this weakness here. So white decides to go ahead and castle, but this pawn is still pinned. So do I push here and attack this pawn? If I push here, attack the pawn, they can't take, because then they'll lose their queen. So let's push here. Oh, I just see something else. I wish I'd seen it sooner. So if the queen just stays there, if I push here with the revealed check, no, they move the queen. Yeah, I wish I'd seen that sooner. So yeah, I wish I could take that back. So if I take here, white takes. I do have this, do also have this threat here. So let's take here. Takes back with the queen. Now I can attack here with the revealed check to the king. King will have to move. Go here. Oh, yeah. So I'm in check. So if I put if I play my rook to here, put the rook here, this pawn here is hanging. Okay. So white is attacking here. I do have the revealed check here. White moves. I could actually threaten a queen either with the pawn or relocate my queen to here, offer the pawn trade. But I can't do that because both these pieces, I have to defend a queen somehow, so, or the checkmate threat. So if I relocate my queen to here, or do I just take? Can I push here? If I push there, queen takes. Then I can't take back. Or do I just move my king? Looks like my best bet is to relocate my rook to there. Man, this is tricky. I just can't quite. So if white, they can't take with the queen. If they take with a knight, I take back. So if they do take, which also hits my queen. So do I take back or do I have a better move? Take back. So white takes here. My rook is pinned. So I can't hit the queen here. Attack there. The queen can't go here. The queen can't attack here. Got 2:27 left on the clock. I'm down by 4 points in material. White's taking their time here. So they do retreat the queen. And are protecting this pawn here. But I can I can throw this bishop out to here, gain a tempo on the rook here. They relocate. I can, let's see. I can put the queen to here, pressure this pawn. Oh, okay. I just blundered my queen. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and resign there. Oh, that was just, that was miserable. Yeah, let's go ahead and resign. That's unfortunate. So that was a terrible game. Yeah, let's go ahead and resign that. Oh well. Let's congratulate my opponent there. I definitely had an opportunity in that game that I just didn't take advantage of. Okay, so let's let's review this. Okay, so opponent actually played pretty good. They had an accuracy of 81.1. I had an accuracy of 66.5, including that terrible blunder there at the end. Looks like Black had a blunder as well, which I completely missed. Yeah, so it's right here is Black's. There's White's blunder. So I've missed that, and then I let Black come back and win the game. So I want to at least dive in and see what I overlooked right here. So let's start to review. So here we are in the advanced version of the French. So preferred move here would have been to play this knight to put pressure on this pawn. But again, my idea was to relocate to here. Which is an inaccuracy because I moved the same piece twice. There's an inaccuracy by my opponent. And I did consider playing this knight move. There's another inaccuracy from my opponent. I take back. So at this point, I'm slightly ahead in position. Yeah, so here's actually a pretty good move, kicking this 9 away. I just didn't take advantage of it like I should, because I'm looking at this queen on the file with the king, trying to think of a way to take advantage of that. So they move away. I takes back. Now this file is open. And at this point I'm up 1.7. So the suggested move is relocating the queen to here on this diagonal. But I really don't hate this move. Okay, there's a mistake, or a blunder actually. This is what I want to take a look at. So here's a blunder by my opponent. So what did I actually play here? I played yeah, this is the one that I missed. So let's take a look at it. And as soon as I made my move, you know, I realized that I missed an opportunity here. And this could have made a huge difference in the game too. So the correct move should have been to push here, and I would have won the queen. I would have won the queen here. So actually no, the queen could have blocked. The queen could have moved and blocked here. Oh, I still would have won the queen. So if the queen would either have to block, or the king would move, in which case I would win the queen here. So if the queen moves, then I just take, and then you know, I'm basically up, you know, 6 points of material here, and it would be really hard for my opponent to come back from that. But I completely missed that. Yeah. So that's just one of those cases where, you know, it's important for me not to blunder. I realize that, but it's also important for me to recognize when my opponent blunders and to punish them for it. So my opponent made a big mistake right there, and I just completely missed taking advantage of it. And like I said, as soon as I made this other move down here, you know, I saw this. So there, the game goes back to even. I missed my opportunity, and then white moves away, and then pretty much blocks this pawn from advancing. So the game is still even here. There's a blunder by me. What did I leave hanging here? I guess because I left this pawn hanging. Is that right? And also the queen has this rook pinned. So take it back. Oh, and this pawn is hanging as well. So if I had relocated the queen to here, that would have protected this pawn. No, I'm wrong about that. This pawn isn't hanging because this pawn is protected by the rook. So if I moved here, basically that would be offering a pawn trade. So white takes. I could either take back or move my knight. So if I take back, white takes. So now we're in the end game, and I can start bringing my king out and thinking about the rest of the game, and it's pretty much even here. So I missed that. So that's why that was a blunder by me. Because now white takes here, and they have all the pressure on this rook here, on this pinned rook, with my king right here. And again, you know, I take up here, but my priority should have been what's going on down here. And then there's the there's the blunder. You know, I think at this point my head just was not, you know, in the game anymore. I'd pretty much just given up. But before the move, yeah, but even before the move, I was behind by 5 points. So the game was pretty much the position was pretty much lost at that point anyway. So I'll forgive myself for the blunder. I won't forgive myself for missing the revealed attack earlier in the game. So in there, I just resigned. So anyway, you know, not the greatest game for sure. A lot to think about, and hopefully improve upon. Just keep playing. It's like every time I lose, I try to learn something. Every time I win, I try to learn something. But that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys soon in episode 23. Bye for now.